Hello and welcome to another Game Nexus Dead or Alive video. Today we're going to be taking a look at Dead or Alive Paradise for the PlayStation Portable. This game was released in the year 2010 and was released on March 30th in North America, April 1st in Europe, and April 2nd in Japan. Now as you can see here, there's Hitomi on the front cover, and on the back it shows the girls in their CG forms. They're not as great looking on the PlayStation Portable, but then again, you're able to take the game portable, so it's actually kind of nice. Now, if you look inside, there's your Universal Media Disc with the Dead or Alive logo and like the beach in the background. Then you have this manual with the very plain look to it. It just has the logo with the flowers and it's all white. And for some reason, this has French and English in it. I have no idea why. This is the only North American release of Dead or Alive that I could recall that wasn't just English in the manual. But here's a few pictures that show you like various girls in CG format. And here's the new girl to this one, Rio. And this game is, if you didn't know, this game is basically Dead or Alive Extreme 2 for the Xbox 360. Minus all the mini games, so all you're getting here is your volleyball and your pool hopping, plus of course all the whole dating sim aspect of it, where you have to have your partner and give her presents and stuff. So more or less, it's like the Xbox 360 game, but just with quite a few features missing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play it on my PlayStation Portable 1000 series here. And all I have to do is get the disc out. The weird thing about these PlayStation Portable cases is they have these plastic things on the top and bottom that you have to pull them, and it kind of just holds it in that way instead of popping in the center hub like a DVD case. Because as you can see, the UMD kind of makes me think of it's kind of like trying to make a CD portable without being able to scratch it. But, it's just in this plastic caddy. And the cool part is if you do, if your disc does come out of the caddy, you can actually get replacement ones from certain websites, so you can actually play your games again. So with my PlayStation Portable here, all I do is pop it in the back here, close the door, and then turn the system right on. And then we're just going to take a look at this game right now. Okay, and when you start the game, it'll load your data every time, and of course it'll ask you to create data if you don't have it when you first do it. And this was right after the Koei Tecmo merger, so that's why the KT logo there, and this game was known as Project Venus when it was being developed. That's where the intro would be, but I've actually uploaded that as a separate video. And right here you'd normally see your intro, but it's the same intro as the Xbox version. You could just watch that video if you want to see it. And your selection here, of course, you have Kasumi. And then there's Tina, Hitomi, Helena, Li Fang, Christy, Lisa, Kokoro, Ayane, and of course the new character here, Rio. And just like with the Xbox Dead or Alive Extreme 2, when you select your character, you have the option of tutorial or no tutorial. And what I've done here is I've selected no tutorial because all it basically is when you do the tutorial, it's kind of just like Dead or Alive Extreme 2 and Dead or Alive Extreme. You'll get the good old... There are two shops on this island. There's the sports shop and the accessory shop, and basically they just kind of give you the tour, which if you've played this game long enough, you really don't need that. So basically if you... And here's that, what I'd mentioned, that guide to the girls. You'll see, as I flip through these, it shows each of the girls and which girls they like. And in the corner there, it'll show, like, their favorite color on the placemat, and then, like, their favorite foods. And, of course, for some reason, Christy doesn't seem to like anybody. That's where there's such, like, a dart in the wall. And everybody seems to have, like, the different girls that they would like a little bit more than others. The only one Ayane has is she doesn't like Kasumi. And the weird thing about when you actually play a game where you're Kasumi, sometimes the game will randomly select Ayane as your first girl to partner up with. And basically, Ayane just gets all mad at you, and she's like, "Oh, you again? Could you just leave me alone?" And if you say yes, you'll just leave her alone, and you have to find a new partner. If you say no, then she'll just be your partner, which is kind of weird considering she more or less hates you. And of course, if you didn't know, Rio was from the Tecmo Super Blackjack titles. She was a dealer for that game, and in order to actually get her in this game, you have to go through a bunch of little things to actually do it. You have to get Zack's challenge item in the hotel. There's a whole lengthy thing on how you have to get it. It was basically like playing a certain amount of blackjack games and winning a certain amount in a certain sequence. And then what would happen is she would actually show up like just randomly in random places. Like you just see her on the beach alone, and you'd have to like give her a gift or something like that. And then eventually you get that challenge item I'd mentioned, and you verse her one more time playing blackjack. And if you beat her in blackjack, then you have the option to make her your partner. And if she becomes your partner, you've unlocked her for play. So the next time you play the game, you can actually be Rio like I am here. So it is a bit of a process, and I'm sure I've completely butchered how to do it since it's been a little while since I actually did it. But it's not really all that bad. It's just a few little steps you have to do to unlock her. So you'll have to play one vacation at least to get Rio unlocked. And she's really the only new thing in this game. As I'd mentioned on the top, they've taken all like the mini games, like the butt battle, the tug of war. All that stuff has been removed from this game since it's a portable title. And of course, sadly, the graphics have not fared nearly as well. If you look at the character models, they're really not all that great compared to how they were in the Xbox version, of course. But then again, that's a high-definition console, and this is a portable that really, I believe it's like 480 by 272 was the resolution of the PlayStation Portable, so you're not really going to get that polished look you would have in your Xbox titles. And the only thing I find in this game compared to the Xbox version as far as gameplay goes is at times it can appear to be a bit bugged compared to the Xbox version. Like, one of the most common bugs I see, at least I think this is a bug, is the volleyball will come right in front of my character and even hit her in the knee. I'll hit the button just as it comes near her, and it'll just hit her in the knee, and my character won't even like react and hit the ball. And of course the matches are 7-point matches or 10-point matches if you keep tying. Like you'll notice right now I tied it up and it's going to go into deuce. And it'll keep going from game point to deuce until you can win by at least 2 points, or until either team gets 10, since 10 is the absolute limit of a game. And the bathing suit that you see Rio wearing in this volleyball match is her default one. And that's another thing I noticed that happens a little bit in this game, where the ball will come very close to your character, and you'll keep pressing the button, and all the character will do is this weird little ducking motion, like she's squatting down or something. I've seen it happen to the AI as well, and I think that's another thing that's probably a bug. But all in all, the gameplay isn't that bad considering it's a portable version of the game. What suffers more than the gameplay is, as I'd mentioned, the graphics. Now, from a distance, if you look at the characters, they're not nearly as detailed as they would be. Of course, everyone's favorite feature, the bounce, is a little bit less pronounced because they couldn't use as much of the graphics memory to make the characters bounce. And of course, you have all your shops here. Here's what the sports shop looks like, the same old bathing suit you'd have in the other game. One thing that's kind of weird is they don't revolve like they did in the Xbox and Xbox 360 games. They just kind of sit there, which is kind of weird. And of course you have your sundries like your volleyballs. No watercraft, of course, because this game doesn't feature the marine race, because I'm guessing it just would have been too much for the disc, or they just wouldn't have room for it. And I just purchased that zebra volleyball, and if you press the square button at any time in this game, it'll go right to your belongings, so you can actually set which stuff you want to use. Before I was using that silver volleyball there. And I've played it a couple times with Rio, so I've gotten a few of her swimsuits. And of course you have your Zack of all trades, which is kind of like the all-around store with all kinds of weird stuff in the accessory shop. Now during doing this gameplay, I tried to give Lisa so many different types of presents, but it seemed like either she didn't like the presents, or she just didn't like them enough for them to raise her like of me. Because like by day 5, it's not shown in this video, but by day 5, she no longer, she leaves. Although to be honest, I did lose a few matches in the last couple days that I played this, so that didn't help either. But it just seemed like she didn't like the stuff I gave her, even though her favorite colors, crimson red, according to the guide. And there's that bathing suit I just changed to, and you'll notice the zebra volleyball that Rio's holding right now. And another thing you're definitely going to notice is instead of having the generic American pop music in it, like you're just gonna get this. If you listen carefully, I'll let you listen a little while. It's just kind of like this instrumental music without any lyrics or anything. It's not licensed at all, so it's basically just this basic music in the background at any time. Even in the intro, if you saw that video, instead of being Menza's song used in the first and second game, How Crazy Are You? It's just some generic sounding song, but it still really fits the intro, and I think it does a good job of it. And the music in the actual gameplay is rather cheery, and it does fit the gameplay rather well. And then again, when you really think about it, I honestly think many video games, just your instrumental, just bleep and bloop type music fits a little bit better, because you don't get that repetitive over and over again song that plays so many times. Like, I don't know about you, but there's only so many times I can listen to songs like Sweet 16 and If It Don't Fit, which are two songs that in the other two games seem to play over and over and over again. I understand you can change your own music, but I always would like it if there was like enough songs, so if you play like a whole vacation, you don't hear one given song like 20 times. But yeah, that's not really a gripe, since as I said, you can change it to your own music. Now, I was mentioning earlier a couple times the graphics, but if you just really look at them, you can notice most of the actual graphics power of the PSP has gone to the actual girls. So you notice they're fairly detailed, but the backgrounds really suffer. Like the poles that the volleyball net's being held up with are rather simple, and a couple times in some of the times I was playing this game, if you look at the ground really closely, it just kind of has this, it's just like a very simple texture look to it. And now I'm just going to show you how the pool hopping has changed in this game. The only real thing that's changed as compared to Dead or Alive Extreme 2 is that if you press the actual button that it tells you to press, you'll get some bonus score, but of course the only stipulation there is that you only get your bonus score if you're the actual winner. So you don't actually get anything if you're not the winner of the pool hopping event. So I honestly found that a little bit annoying. I think just like when you get your technique or nice points during a volleyball match, even if you don't win, I think you should get your Zac dollars, if you will. But it's really a small gripe. And of course, you'll notice this is one of your evening settings. And going back to the graphics again, instead of having like the very nice lighting of the console versions of Dead or Alive Extreme, more or less everything's just kind of been recolored. Like you'll just notice the ground is just a little bit darker, and all the backgrounds have just been shaded so that they look like it's evening. But you won't have that dynamic lens flare or any of the sun effects you would have in the console version. And another thing that I just always keep doing when I'm playing the Xbox 360 Dead or Alive Extreme 2 or Dead or Alive Paradise here is in the original Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball for the Xbox, since the Xbox had the analog pressure sensitive buttons, when you would press the button harder, it would actually cause your character to spike harder or spike quicker. So I always find myself doing that, which in a way it works. So I think it's like the speed of the button press that determines the actual hardness of your spike. But I just found the whole analog thing on the original Xbox controller just a little bit better. In my opinion, of course, I thought that was pretty cool. And another thing you'll notice as far as the graphics go is the shadows are just the simple give the character a shadow by putting a little circle underneath their feet thing. The characters only tend to really look all that great when there's a close-up on them. When the camera's really far away from the characters, you can see when they're playing volleyball right now. Due to the fact that the PlayStation Portable doesn't handle the anti-aliasing too well, it just kind of looks a bit jaggy. And since I know I'm going to get this question a lot, the way that I was able to capture this footage is with a little program called Remote Joy. And I currently, as of making this video, run the custom firmware 6.38 minimum edition. So basically what I had to do is install a plugin which would allow Remote Joy to work, and then run the Remote Joy program on my computer. Of course, connect the headphone jack to the input on the sound card. So then I can capture the whole thing with HyperCam, because if I use the actual built-in capture from Remote Joy, any file that's above 4 gigabytes gets messed up. So it was probably made with your good old-fashioned FAT32 file format in mind. But that's how I did it. It's not really that hard, and you'll get a much nicer look on your PlayStation Portable videos instead of having the good old camera pointing at the screen. 'Cause whenever I would do that, it would not focus on the screen at all. So I found really quickly that I couldn't do that. And of course, if you're gonna run a HyperCam and with uncompressed video and Remote Joy, you're gonna have to have a decently fast computer to not have slowdown on either the capture or the game. But yeah, Dead or Alive Paradise for the PlayStation Portable, while it's a really good game when it comes to taking your Dead or Alive girls with you in their volleyball game, I tend to say with this game it's really only for fans, because unless you really love your portable games or you really love your PlayStation Portable, I really couldn't see this being worth purchasing for anyone who's not like a hardcore Dead or Alive fan like me. And of course, if you are a big Dead or Alive fan and you're not really into portables, you can just get Dead or Alive Extreme 2, because honestly, graphically it's a much better game and you get all those extra little mini games. But so I'm going to easily say this one is a good game, but I can easily say it's really for fans only. And then this is what, as I was mentioning before, it's the you get up to 10 points, and that will win you the game. So even if the opponents were to score another another point here, they would still it would still be that we would win if we got another point. You'll notice now it's tied up at 9-9, so whoever gets a point now is the winner. But just as I said, Dead or Alive Paradise, while being a solid title, I really say it's just for fans since the console version is so much better. And with that, this is another Dead or Alive video, and I shall see you later. Bye.